When will statehood be restored to Jammu and Kashmir?
Parliament only can answer that question. There was a commitment given by Honorable Home Minister to the Parliament, if you recall, on the 6th of August 2019 itself. And Prime Minister himself spoke about fulfilling that commitment several times, but the latest was when he addressed a rally in Srinagar last week. I'm sure...
no, but is it going to happen soon after results, or you'll delay it till 2029? What is the level of commitment in the party? As the chief strategist, what advice are you giving?
Where is the need for any advice when Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable Home Minister themselves have committed that we will give statehood to the...
करेंगे statehood restore, ये नहीं बोला ना कि immediately करेंगे नवंबर दिसंबर में या 5 साल बाद. आपको जब बड़ा फैसला करना होता है 370 टाइप का आप कर देते हो. आपकी वो इच्छा शक्ति है कि नहीं? That's my question.
No, इच्छा शक्ति नहीं होती तो commitment क्यों देते?
तो कब करेंगे?
There is complete commitment to that promise made on the floor of the Parliament, which is very sacred for us, and that will be fulfilled at an appropriate time.
Early stage, or
as early as possible. That's what Honorable Prime Minister himself said. Soon we will do it.
Now in Jammu, a lot of reports suggested that people are also unhappy with the revocation of Article 370 because of land rights, employment. That is not as if 370 has universal appeal. Removing 370 has universal appeal in Jammu. And the Congress's calculation is that some of this disaffection could benefit them.
Oh, let them live in their la-la land. I don't want to talk about Congress. Congress has not actually, for us, we couldn't see them anywhere. You won't believe Congress leaders were addressing rallies on mobile phone. The rally was taking place half an hour from where they are addressing. It's just half an hour, 45 minutes away from the place from where they are addressing. That much distance they were not ready to travel by road.
Why?
That is what Congress party is all about in Jammu. So that's the question that one should ask them. Whereas our Union Home Minister travelled by road for 60 kilometers, travelled by road, both ways, to address political rallies. We fought with all sincerity to do good to people of Jammu. And Congress party leaders came, and it was like tourism for them, sitting in the hotel, addressing rallies which are half an hour away for you.
You think the Congress was lazy in Jammu?
Absolutely, that's what people of Jammu felt.
The Congress thinks Rahul Gandhi is a hero in Kashmir especially, and even in Jammu because of his Bharat Jodo Yatra, those images, baraf pad rahi hai, Rahul bol raha hai. They think that Rahul has a larger than life image in Jammu.
Rahul, first of all, heroes, it's not necessary that heroes will win elections. Political leaders will win elections. You have to behave like a real politician. Let us see what happens. Congress party has contested in many seats in Jammu, and it is in alliance with NC in Valley. I can tell you, single digit.
You think Congress will be less than double?
I don't want to comment that way, because after all we respect the mandate on 8th, but we are very sure that it will be a very dismal performance.
I want to spend some time on your rehabilitation. When the whole BJP, PDP formula went south, you were seen by some in the BJP as being the villain. कि इन्होंने हमारी ideology कच्ची कर दी, हम तो कभी भी इसके मन में नहीं थे, यही लेके गए, सब BJP का काम खराब कर दिया, and therefore, in some ways, you went into a political vanvas of sorts. Then you went back to the RSS, and now you've come back. People are saying it 240 का impact है, क्योंकि 240 आई तो BJP को राम माधव को वापस लाना.
No, firstly, when I worked in the party for more than 6 years, about 6.5 years, I was there as General Secretary. I followed the guidance or the orders of the party leadership. Whether we formed a government in Jammu and Kashmir or the governments that we formed in the Northeast, I was there involved in forming at least 10 governments in those 6-7 years. But everything in our party, it's not me who takes decisions. It's okay, people can blame me, that I don't mind. But those decisions are taken at the very highest level. Those days, even Arun Jaitley ji, Prime Minister himself, we all used to take decisions together. We decided to go in for certain arrangements, whether it was in Kashmir or it was in states like, states in the Northeast. It was a collective decision of the party leadership, which I was given the responsibility of implementing. I really don't think that it had anything to do with dropping me from the party position in 2020, because we served for 2 terms and party leadership always tries to bring new people in. After 3 years, yes, I'm happy that I have been given a very important assignment this time. I really don't want to say that it's because of any compulsion or because of any weakness or whatever. I only think that this party or this leadership, whether it's Prime Minister Modi or Amit Shah ji or Nadda ji, they always keep an eye on the leaders available, and at an appropriate time they assign appropriate responsibility to them. That's why I got this assignment.
You're being very diplomatic, Ram Madhav ji, which is very natural because you're speaking in public. But many political observers will see your return and your rehabilitation from political exile as a sign of RSS asserting itself in the BJP's affairs. That the RSS, because you are seen, you've been a spokesperson of the Sangh, that your rehabilitation is in some way seen as Sangh asserting itself in the BJP's affairs.
No, firstly, broadly in terms of ideological or our ideational sphere, if you talk about, is Prime Minister not Modi a part of that ideology?
Of course.
Is Amit Shah ji not a part of it?
Of course.
Where is this question that Sangh is imposing or it's affirming its authority and all that? You see, at the ideological level, all are Sangh only. Everybody subscribes to that nation first thinking. So this my return need not be seen in that manner. I would, in fact, I would be happy to clarify that I myself always thought that after some time probably I would get an opportunity once again. So I myself waited for 3 years to see if I can come back in some role in the party, and finally that happened. Yes, when that transition happened, my mother organization, namely the RSS, was willing to allow me to go back. That I give a lot of credit to Sangh leadership, and I have huge respect for Sangh leadership for accommodating me for 3 years and then allowing me to go back. Sometimes it's not easy in a very...
Why did you pick the BJP and not go back full time to the RSS?
No, I am anyway full time in RSS.
Of course, but
even now
go back to a post where you have an
RSS.
organizational responsibility.
For one important reason, that I never see. I opted to be an RSS functionary. At some point in 2014, I was asked to go into the political organization. It was the decision of the RSS. When I was to leave that party responsibility, it was not because RSS called me back. It was a decision taken for some important, probably reason by the party leadership. So it's not that RSS wanted me to come back. So if RSS wanted me to come back, they would have told me, come back and take some responsibility. But it was a decision taken at the political level. That's why I generally requested Sangh leadership that allow me some time, let us see what is the thinking. And there is some different thinking now.
So Kashmir elections are over. What happens next? You were earlier in charge of Northeast and Jammu and Kashmir. What role do you see or hope for yourself going forward?
No, Kashmir elections are not over yet. Only polling is over. We always jokingly say, Kashmir, really the action begins after the results. People in other states, the whole action is before the results. Once results are out, you have a government. In Kashmir, the action begins after 8th October.
And that's why you've been sent? Because
yeah, no, not just me. Not just me. Right from Prime Minister to Home Minister, everybody will be involved in...
will the BJP have a Muslim Chief Minister if you have an opportunity?
Look, that's why I said I do not want to comment on what will happen after 8th October, because ultimately it depends on numbers. We would want a Jammu-based and a Jammu-centric government. That's what Honorable Prime Minister told in his final rally. Jammu ki sarkar hogi. So that is a very predominant sentiment. But for that, required numbers and required combinations have to happen. That will certainly be a priority for us. But all these things will be hypothetical because you never know what will be the final numbers that we see on 8th October.
Well, you present a certain type of politics, at its core one of reconciliation, of balance, something which wasn't required much from 2019 to 24, but is suddenly back in vogue, which is why also you're on the hot seat once again.
No, look, Kashmir, I have dealt with it even in RSS also. States like Jammu and Kashmir need to be dealt with a very large-heartedness, with a very open mind.
पार्टी में कई लोग हैं जिनको लगता है कि डंडे के जोर पर.
Ideological commitment, not wavering on your ideological commitment. We never wanted 370. You should go where with it, but you have to be accommodative. You have to be, you have to be sympathetic to different viewpoints, and ultimately try and win over more and more people to your side.
But what's your vision for this Naya Kashmir? If the BJP were to come to power?
No, Naya Kashmir, I can tell you one thing, Rahulji. You know, this whole general perception here that all Kashmiris are falling for 370 or return of it and they do not like Delhi, it's all totally wrong, totally wrong. If you closely observe the social media posts of people of Kashmir, most of them praise Prime Minister Modi. Most of them praise his developmental activity. Maybe they still do not fully support our decision on 370, but they will understand. But even in that, nobody today wants Article 370.
But they want statehood back as quickly as possible.
You look at the goalposts, how even these political parties change their goalposts. Initially, the manifesto of NC, the very first statement was, we will bring 370 back. Then we said, the Home Minister said, no force on earth can bring it back. Then they realized that it's not going to work. They went back. Then they promised, we will give statehood. Then we challenged, how can you give statehood? Statehood has to be given by us, and we committed. They again went back and said, we will try and put pressure on the government to bring statehood back. They don't have to put pressure on us. We are willing to give statehood back to, not back, actually it's a new UT. So they have to get it afresh, statehood to this UT.
Will it be as powerful a state government as any other, or will it be a very curtailed? Jैसे Delhi में statehood है भी और नहीं भी?
I can't comment on that. What kind of arrangement will be there? That is a decision that Parliament will take.
आप जीते तो state government की power होगी, आप हारे तो state government की power नहीं है. ऐसा तो नहीं है?
ऐसा नहीं. What powers that state will get when it is created will be decided by the Parliament. And today Parliament has strong opposition also. Let them debate and decide.
Now, Devendra Rana, who's now in the BJP, was earlier in the NC right-hand man once upon a time of Omar Abdullah, said that once you were in talks with Omar and Farooq Saab to become a part of the alliance. Is that correct? And are you still open to an alliance with the National Conference?
We are not in talks with anybody.
He was talking about many years ago.
Oh, okay. See, in 2014, there was a peculiar situation wherein there was only a possibility of BJP NC coming together or BJP PDP coming together to form the government. Otherwise, there was no government. We would have to go back to people for another mandate. That time, yes, talks happened between us and them and us and PDP also. Finally, PDP, BJP worked out. But right now, no such thing is happening. We are very confident that we will inch closer to majority mark. Whatever is short, we will see who will be ready to fail with us. Are you open to align with
Omar Abdullah?
That question doesn't arise because we are on our own. We will have enough numbers, and we will probably see who are agreeable with our thought process and who will come to us.
Well, the most remarkable comment you made, according to me, in this interview is that in Kashmir, the real game starts after the results come. So I think watch out for that and watch out for Ram Madhav. Thank you very much, Ram Madhav ji, for joining us and for breaking your silence with us. Thank you.